the treatment of detainees. And I was encouraged by the plans of your department announced in October to revamp the dysfunctional detention system. But as you know, time is of the essence, because since 2003, we have had at least 107 immigrants who have died in our America's immigration prisons. And many of their stories truly are horrifying. In fact, the latest reports came from a New York Times investigation, which recently exposed a case in which a Salvadorian man committed suicide after suffering for weeks from unbearable pain in his legs after his pleas for help were ignored. Following his death, it is reported that detention authorities subsequently attempted to change the man's medical records to conceal their wrongdoing. An October report by your department has acknowledged the need for a well-managed medical care system and has made several recommendations. What concerns me is that in spite of the urgency to make these changes, in the next step section is very, very general and very vague, such as using recommendations can be actualized soon. You know, I don't know what soon means. Requires further analysis without any timeline for when that analysis is to take place and be completed. Must continue the progress of recent months. Well, for how many months? There seems to be no sense of urgency in dealing with this. So can you give me an idea as to what the timeline is for implementing these reforms, not only in your department's report, but also in meetings with Assistant Secretary Morton? He also has proposals for improving the system. So I'd like to know what the timeline is to get these things moving.
Fair enough. And, well, a number of things are already being implemented, so they're underway as we speak. The program office has been set up. We have consolidated facilities. We have put oversight into the contracted facilities. That's where a lot of the problems were occurring. We have instituted evaluation of medical conditions, et cetera, on entrance into a facility. Some of the things are going to take longer, like a locator system to develop. But by soon, we mean as soon as possible, and some things are underway now.
Okay. Let me just ask on the treatment. I've been told that one of the problems is a requirement by ICE headquarters to approve every treatment, and that has sent the wrong message to the personnel that detention medical staff, all they have to do is be responsible for ensuring that the detainee is healthy enough to be deported. Is that process still in place where everything has to be, every medical treatment has to be approved through headquarters?
I think that was an inaccurate report. That is not the way it is supposed to occur. If there's a misunderstanding in the field, that will be corrected.
Okay, thank you. Sheriff Arperi of Maricopa County, Arizona, has drawn widespread criticism, as you know, from civil rights groups, and he is currently subject of a Department of Justice investigation. And earlier this month, he announced that his office intends to continue making immigration arrests despite the fact that ICE rescinded his 287G agreement, which gives him the authority to enforce immigration law. Given these circumstances, why does your department continue to use the Maricopa County jails to house detainees? Is your department taking steps to reevaluate that decision? And what steps are you considering to ensure that law enforcement agencies seeking 287G authority have acceptable civil rights records?
Well, the complaints about the Maricopa County situation were almost exclusively, actually virtually all related to his going out and picking up illegals, not the jail itself, which is actually one of our largest places for detainees being deported from the United States. So we monitor it. 287G agreements require a civil rights commitment. That was part and parcel of how we standardized the agreements over the course of last year. But our strategy, of course, is really to build up securing the communities because the budget really shows that that's really, I think, a very effective way to go, where you get the immigration database information right at the time of booking or immediately upon incarceration.
Okay, I'd like to follow up with you a little bit more on that at a different time. And very quick.
Generally, time's expired, so perhaps you can take that up on the second round.
Okay.
Mr. Farr is